Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. This video is on the full moon in Pisces that takes place on the 14th of September 2019 at 5:32 in the morning, and that's based on UK time, which is currently British summer time. Now, a full moon happens every month. It's when the sun and the moon are 180 degrees apart and the moon is fully illuminated, and it lets go of the energy it's been holding on to, and it showers us with that energy, and we feel a lot of the Pisces energy kind of trickling down, and we're influenced by it, okay? The moon is the most sensitive part of who we are in the astrology. So when there is a full moon or a new moon, it can disrupt our sleep patterns. It can really be felt, and they're really interesting because each new and full moon kind of tries to push us in the best direction possible. So the moon is illuminated by a sun, which is at 21 degrees in Virgo. 2 and 1 is 3, that's communication. So Virgo is about being a sponge and learning and communicating and absorbing everything. We've got a Mars in Virgo, a Venus in Virgo, a Mercury in Virgo, and all of those are conjunct to the sun. So all your personal planets blend together into this Virgo superpower super sun mix. Okay, so you're incredibly analytical, you love to make sense of things for the sake of other people, and you want to communicate for the principle of accuracy and authenticity and facts and the way things ought to be. And that then opposes the moon at 21 degrees in Pisces, which means that this full moon, 2 and 1 is 3 again, and in Pisces, the moon in Pisces at 3 degrees will give you this sense that you can communicate not only with facts and figures and science, but you can also communicate with the higher realms and the unmanifest and the spiritual and the things that cannot be proven. You know, but when people say, well, if there is a higher power, God, then prove it. You can't measure something spiritual with scientific tools. They just don't work on that thing that you're trying to prove. It's just the wrong tool. So you're going to feel incredibly psychic during this full moon. And as I said in the weekly and in the monthly horoscopes that I did, this full moon is going to last over the 13th, 14th, and 15th. The energy is going to be with you over a couple of days. Now, next to the moon is Chiron, but it's too far away to influence it. Neptune is 4 degrees away, so that does influence it. And Neptune is the planet of dreams and imagination. So the whole of the other side, the Akashic records, the collective unconscious, it's open day, okay? As far as the astrology is concerned. Here at the Akashic records, we're holding an open day. Everyone and anyone is invited to come in and look around and read books about their life purpose and past lives and what their destiny is and everything like that. Black Moon Lilith sits on top of it as well, 70 degrees away, so that still counts. Black Moon Lilith is the ego, where it tries to sabotage you, okay? And at 14 degrees in Pisces, it's going to say, listen, you're going to attain freedom in the world if you go with the Sun, Mars, Venus, Mercury clique over there and you stick to the facts and figures. That's going to be how you live your best life. Don't start mucking around with all this spiritual nonsense. It's just going to get you in trouble, and it's just going to make you look like a fool. Wrong! That is what the ego is telling you, and the ego is telling you that because when you do go with the spiritual stuff, it goes success, triumph, woohoo, greatness, things going really well. And that's why the ego is sitting there trying to dissuade you from using your intuitive psychic abilities, because if you use them for your own life, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose here on planet Earth? Who am I? Where have I been before? What is my life purpose this time around? What's destined for me in love and romance? You ask yourself all these questions, you have total freedom because you have extra knowledge about yourself, which means that you can actually take action, that you can actually act to move forward. So the moon gives you great insight into your personal destiny. It also gives you great insight into the lives of other people. So you can be an amazing humanitarian, you can give great advice, you can be an amazing psychic, clairvoyant, intuitive astrologer, intuitive artist, psychic medium, psychologist, therapist, vocational counselor, anything where you're working with someone else to heal them. So Reiki masters, pranic healers, you're going to have the ability to communicate with the higher realms, so you can either channel healing energy through your crown chakra and out your hand chakras into another person, which is what Reiki basically is, or you can use all of these facts and figures that you've amounted, and you can listen to your higher self and get that as a second opinion. So rather than just facts from the world. So for instance, facts from the world say, I'm a pharmacist, okay? I work in a pharmacy, I'm a 38-year-old man, and I have no children, and I just work as a pharmacist. Those are the facts of my life. But also, I am a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm so much more than just a pharmacist. So getting the facts and figures on a Virgo level is always going to be somewhat lacking, because yes, it wants perfectionism, but like most perfectionists, it's short-sighted because it misses the bigger picture. And you're not a pharmacist, you're a divine being. And you can only understand that when you include the spiritual information that you get as well as the earthy information that you get. So you're going to have a much deeper understanding of yourself as a spiritual being, as a soul, and you're going to understand other people very well. So you'll see who's got your best interests at heart, you'll see who doesn't, you'll intuitively know what's going on in certain situations. Now, the moon forms several... I can't talk today, I'm sorry. The moon forms several relationships with other things in the chart. So this blends and influences the moon into becoming something else. First of all, it has a semi-square with Uranus and Taurus. So the spiritual insights you get about yourself may create opportunities for you to change your life, your living circumstances. So I'm a pharmacist. Now the spiritual Akashic records have opened up to me. I can see that in a past life I was this and this and this. I'm no longer going to work as a pharmacist. I know that I am now meant to go on my journey of being a life coach, and I'm going to start doing that. So because this is such a revealing full moon, it gives you the opportunity to maybe throw your life up in the air and to change direction. Also, for a lot of you, you're going to find the desire to move, to throw the place you live up in the air and to completely go somewhere else. And that opportunity happens during the 13th, 14th and 15th. You know, I do new moon and full moon videos all the time, and I never say that it lasts over 3 days. I've said that like maybe once, but this one particularly, I've said that from the very beginning, just intuitively it's come to me. So this is a really important couple of days to realize who you are, and then you can make the changes on a tangible earthy level. It also forms obviously in opposition with the sun. That makes sense because it's a full moon, right? And it forms a sesqui square with Pallas Athena at 7 degrees in Scorpio. So the warrior goddess wants you to understand who you are. It doesn't just want you to understand who you are, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, on a physical, factual basis. Pallas Athena wants you to know yourself and to know other people as a soul. It wants to open your head and climb inside and discover what's going on in this little noggin here, and what makes you tick and what you're thinking about. And you know, we always say, I want someone who loves me and who understands me and who loves me for me. And most of us don't even know who we are. If you ask yourself, who am I? Then you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm Susan Taylor, thank you very much. We're very complicated beings. We're multifaceted. And the facet of your existence that is exposed and that you have access to today during this full moon is your spiritual, psychic, intuitive, nurturing, creative, loving, self-sacrificing side. So Pallas Athena allows you to use your feelings and your mind to dive down and to understand really what's going on internally and what needs to be done about it so you can heal it and move on. The moon also forms a square with Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's good. Jupiter is the lucky planet. And the lucky planet at 16 degrees in Sagittarius is saying, explore on an intellectual level, connect with the Akashic records, connect with the higher realms, see who you are, where you've been, where you're going, and really gather this information to you. Make notes, because you can become crystal clear on what your life is. This is the ultimate cheat code. This is what I wanted when I was 16. I always complained, do you know what? I must have left my manual for living on the bus, because I am 16 years old. I have no clue what to do. I'm resentful of this and this and this. I can't cope. Emotionally, I have no skills, blah, blah, blah. If someone had just given me a full moon like this, where I could just look within and really see me without an emotional layer over it, like I could have seen objectively, you love the tarot, you love astrology, you don't love engineering so much, you don't love writing as a journalist so much. If I saw that very clearly, then I could have made a much more informed choice when it came to my education and when it came to what I did next. This full moon gives you an opportunity to really see what your strengths and weaknesses are. And it allows you to see it spiritually. So there's Susan Taylor. She's warm-hearted. She's really, really liked. She's nurturing. She's really, really strong. She's working to sell something at the moment. But suddenly it occurs to her, I would do really well as a nurse. And she suddenly notices that about herself, and that is a major upheaval to your life. So the information that you gather, when you act on it, it will cause change. So even though we're in Virgo season, be kind of adaptable and flexible, and expect to be given information and to download information which puts you back on the right track, and which then does require making physical changes, but it's for the best in the long term. The moon also creates a sextile with Saturn in Capricorn at 13 degrees. So these new insights that you get, when you act upon them, Saturn is about as solid as you can get, okay? Saturn is a tank. Saturn is a giant building, a huge cathedral. It's rock solid. It doesn't go anywhere. It stays put. So by listening, anything that comes up during this period, don't dismiss it. This is something that you can use as a foundation to build your life on. You can build your house on this. So you see yourself as you truly are by being willing and teachable and open-minded. Some people aren't. Like, there's going to be a builder on the 14th of September who's got his jackhammer going, and on his break he's going to become reflective and he's thinking about, what am I doing? He's like, what a load of BS. Let's go back to eating our sandwich and looking at page 3 and reading the paper. Some people aren't going to be open to change and looking internally. Those of you guys who are willing to do the inner work, you're the ones who are going to benefit, because you're being given a gift here, especially if you feel lost or if you feel like you're off track. You're being given a sign, like a hello, this is your real life waving at you from the other side, come and look at me. You get to look at your real life. You get to choose whether you emulate it in this lifetime and make it real. But it's certainly a time where, I mean, this is happy birthday, regardless of when your birthday is. This is a freebie from the universe that gives you a glimpse into who you could really be. So don't miss the opportunity. And also what I want to say about people who've been on the path and who've been spiritual seekers for a while, you can tell the difference, even in the way people look. Because give yourself credit for how much you've learned already. The ones who are always talking and who are the loudest, they usually know the least. It's the quiet ones like you who are always talked over. You guys are the ones that know the most because you've been doing the inner work the longest. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean that you're wrong, okay? Now, that whole thing with the moon and the sun, they create a grand trine, which is this big, not a grand trine, a T-square. A grand trine is a triangle, big blue triangle. A T-square is this red triangle, and it's friction. It's, should I listen to facts? Should I run off somewhere? Or should I just stay in my feelings? The answer is run off into your feelings, into the higher realms, and you will get spiritual facts, the collective unconscious, Akashic record. You'll get spiritual information as well as physical, tangible information, so that you can make a well-rounded decision about how you're going to progress in life. There's a mystic rectangle. You can see the big blue rectangle, but one of the sides is missing. I still count that as a mystic rectangle. And the universe is involved here today. It's making the clouds part from your ideal life a little bit, so that you can just peek into it, have a little look. And if you're clever, you will take this advantage, and then you'll make changes so that you're on the right track towards success and towards your ideal version of your life. Not someone else's, your ideal version. We also do have a grand trine in the chart connecting the North Node with Pallas Athena and the part of Fortune. Yeah, so the key is taking care of yourself first, taking care of others, and feeling with your heart instead of just with your head. Feel and think with your heart during this full moon, because that's where the information is going to come from. It's going to come from your heart, from your feelings. It's not going to be just logic and intellect and reading and facts and figures. It's going to be an emotional experience. So that's it. That's what I get for you during this full moon in Pisces. It's a wonderful time. What a gift. What a lovely gift to kind of finish off the summer here. That it's showing you something that you can work towards now that if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, now as the nights are drawing in, you have a purpose. You really see yourself, and you can work on that now as we move into the autumn and winter, so that you can be reborn in the spring and summer as someone who is totally on track and living their life in the way they're meant to, rather than being in a relationship that you dislike, or in a job that you really have outgrown, or in some sort of duty that's no longer serves you, anything like that. It's graduation. It's happy birthday. It's a glimpse of your real potential, and it's a positive day. So I hope you have a lovely full moon experience here. If you have any experiences that are majorly life-changing, please leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear your personal experiences from this full moon, because I really think it's a powerful one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been guided to say 13th, 14th, 15th over and over and over again. So I hope that gives you something to go on. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. I need your date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth to draw up your natal chart. If you don't have the time of birth, order a rectification with me. That's the process where I can work out your time of birth. Then I have your natal chart in front of me. It's a blueprint of your soul. It shows me your life purpose, your vocational aptitudes, anything to do with moving, where the best place is for you to live. I look at the astrocartography for that. I can look at what's coming up in future via the progressed astrology, the progressed chart, and the transits, which is the predictive astrology, and the tarot, to see what's coming up for you in love and money and relationships and health, and from an astrological perspective, and moving and finances and all of those things. So if you have any questions, I can answer those. Just go to gregoryscott.com to order your reading. Hit subscribe if you like this video and share it online. Have a wonderful, wonderful time here during this full moon. And I'll speak to you for the new moon at the end of the month. Mwah! All the best.